Is it working?
Yeah, I think it's going live. You check the page. I think we're not there.
Not yet, not yet.
Yeah, we're there already. So I
Okay, let
think
me
we are
refresh.
live. Yes, guys.
Yes.
Okay, so we're live.
Okay.
Okay, great. So I'd just like to welcome everybody to another live session with Pasxcel Academy. Our goal with this show today is to address some of the common questions that parents have with IGCSE. We've gotten quite a number of questions, and which Miss Yap has put together for us. Hey,
Okay, hi guys. Yeah, so Natasha here again, once again. We are back with another live, and this time we have compiled a series of questions that we've been answering many times to different parents. So we thought, why not, just compile all the questions and just address it once and for all on this live session. So without further ado, let's maybe jump right to question number one. Okay, so one parent asked, is online homeschooling better than the traditional private or international schooling system? What are your thoughts?
okay, let's look at the question again. It says, is online homeschooling better than the traditional private international schooling system? Okay, great. Okay, let me take a deep breath. Okay, so this question, the most important word here is better. So I think what parents need to understand is there's no such thing as a better system, right?
Mm,
There's always going to be the best suited system, but there's not going to be a better system. So if you
correct.
compare, like for example, from government moving to private, right? If let's say cost was an option, cost was an issue, even if this was a better option, you still can't go for it, right? Because you want to go for something that's best suited for you. So in that case, if you're looking between an online homeschool and a private international school or a private school, is online homeschooling better? This can only be answered individually per person. Like for example, let's say your child actually needs more attention, or you want to fast track the progress of your children because school just takes too long, or if you're a parent who continuously move around, so then definitely online homeschooling is going to be better. But let's say you think it's really important that your children go to a prestigious school that carries a brand name, then of
Mm,
course going to those schools are going to be better for you. So it really depends on the parent and the student and what they need.
yeah, definitely lah. So it all boils down to what they're looking for.
Correct.
There's no such thing as one is better than the other.
Mhm.
Apple versus orange. So okay, that's good. All right. Another question from another parent.
Mhm.
She said, "My child is a slow learner. Is it possible for her to score well in IGCSE exams?" Hmm.
Okay, all right. Okay, so this one, very straightforward. I always tell parents this: IGCSE is not rocket science. It is not something that is not doable. Now, if your child
Mm,
is a slow learner, I like to, examine that label. Where did that label come from? Who started calling her
mm,
or him that this person is a slow learner? Most likely that the teaching method that was used to teach this child was actually not suited to the child's learning capacity. Like, maybe certain children respond better to visuals, some children respond better when they do it themselves. So did the teachers actually use all the methodologies that are available to them before they came up with this label? This is very important. But no matter how slow a child is, right, it is not impossible to do IGCSE, because we've done it with students who are above average, and some of them can finish it in like 2 months, the syllabus in 2 months. Some of them have finished it in 4 to 6 months. Of course, 2 months, the boy had some prior knowledge. Like, okay, giving a shout out to Sohail here.
mm.
Sohail actually finished his business studies and economics in 2 months. The rest of them took 4 to 6 months, and they're able to complete the syllabus. And these are slightly above average students. We polish them quite well. But if you are what you like to call with learning disabilities, or you take a bit of time to understand concepts, a year is definitely enough, and it's definitely
Mm.
possible. Yeah.
So it's possible. Okay. So shout out to the mom who is asking. So that's your answer. So a lot of parents, they always think like, oh, when they hear IGCSE, oh, it's definitely tougher. So, oh no, my son can't cope, that kind of thing. So since you've already explained, it is all boils down to the teaching method, done by the teachers.
Yeah,
Mm.
because most of the time, I think parents just have this feeling, oh my God, 2 years into 1 year. That's like, oh, it's so my child can't cope. It's too much. Like the idea is, it's like very Asian. Like we're just gonna shove it down their throat and make them. That's not how it is. Like if you re-examine, right, what do you actually do in 2 years of schooling, right?
Mm.
There's a lot of gaps, a lot of holidays, Malaysia, a lot of public holidays. So the reason why you don't finish it, like for example, Sohail, I told you he finished it in 2 months, right? That's because economics only has 6 major topics, and teachers somehow find a way to teach this for 2 years.
Mm.
So imagine if you went to work and like your boss said like, oh, like you said that I'm gonna learn these 6 things that I have to do, and I'm gonna learn them like in 2 years, and your boss would be like, thank you very much.
Yes, yes,
uh,
definitely.
yeah, so that's how it
Mm.
goes.
All right. So the next question, I think
Mhm.
is a bit similar to what you've already addressed. Is it possible to complete year 10 and year 11 syllabus in a year or less? Because that is what, our Pasxcel fast track program is all about. So a lot of parents are concerned whether is it possible for their child to do so.
Okay, you know what? Since you asked me this again, since I already explained, I'm just gonna pull this out and just show people. Okay, guys. So like,
Mm.
I'm gonna share something on my screen. Okay, if you look, this is actually the Cambridge Learner Guide. This is economics, right? Cambridge. This is what the children will be taking. So if you look at the content guide, I'm just gonna scroll really quickly. These are the 6 major topics. That's it. That's the entire syllabus. So it
That
really,
teacher, do they like stretch all 6 to 2 years?
yeah, this is what they do. So in this 6, there's a lot of breakdown of subtopics, right? So
Mm.
teachers take their own sweet time to talk and talk and talk and bore the student, and unnecessary, because you honestly can just make it very concise, explain what it is, and then like how we do it at Pasxcel with an adaptive learning methodology. You keep
Mm.
questioning them, keep making them think differently, and then you can just get it done really fast. And when we do it, like a lot of parents, even I remember one of our starting batch, when they came in, the parents had a similar concern,
Mm.
and we just told them, okay, you know what? For your sake, we will just let the student try it out for a month and then see how they feel like. And the parents were like, yeah, okay.
Mm.
Then if it's not good, then we will slow it down to the normal rate. Yeah. Then I was like, yeah, let's just do that. Then after a month, the child was just flying through, because it's definitely possible. It's just the schools make it look impossible.
Mm.
That's
True.
that's all it is. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So another question.
Mm-hmm.
Can my child sit for both IGCSE exams and SPM at the same time? Wow, ambitious.
Ambition. Okay. Okay. To be fair, this is not the first time I'm getting the question. Now is June. This year I've gotten the question twice, and parents have came in twice with this. Okay, parents, if you're listening to this and you are still thinking of making your child do IGCSE and SPM at the same time, and if you want to know my answer, the answer is yes, if you want your child to hate you. So please go ahead and make them do both if you want your child to really hate you. Because there's no reason for doing this right now, because
Mm,
IGCSE and SPM are the same qualification. It's just a high school
exactly.
qualification, right? And SPM, though it's being national, to be very honest, SPM syllabus is actually more in depth. Whereas IGCSE's specialty is that it focuses a lot on thinking, analytical thinking, critical application of knowledge, and all that. So this is the major difference. If
Mm,
you do wanna, I understand the motivation here. You're trying to give your child this extra competitive advantage, make them like the next level genius. Just drop a CM. There is like a ton of online courses that they can do, can get certified by the time they
mm,
get a job, which would be way more marketable than doing SPM and IGCSE. So a lot of,
definitely.
yeah. So definitely
Yeah, especially, like right now, they have a lot of those Google courses that you can take, learn SEO, you can learn about marketing, business.
exactly.
Yes.
A lot of these courses are free as well, like Facebook Academy. You can
Mm,
just go and learn how to do ads, and parents will be like, oh, why would my child learn that? It would be a great way to earn pocket money, like there's a lot of things you can
mm.
explore. Like parents should just be open to the idea of children budding in their own way, and instead of making them take two high school qualification, which really doesn't.
Definitely. I think it'll be hell, man, if we went through that, like
Yeah,
two different.
yeah, imagine studying for SPM Bahasa and then English as first language, and it's just too much. It's just too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So the next question, they ask, are parents able to supervise and sit in while the classes are in session?
Right.
Hmm.
Okay. So the answer is yes, yes, definitely yes. You can sit in and supervise, but I highly discourage it. I definitely highly discourage it because we had this one parent during a discovery session. Okay, so what parents don't know, right? Though your webcam is turned on and we can't see you even if you're sitting at the back, we can still hear you. So there was this discovery session. The parent was actually feeding the answer to the child and like guiding the child. I kid you not. And that really defeats the purpose of having a discovery session, because the idea of having the discovery session is to find out how fast the child can think, how fast can they process information, how fast they can apply, and also like how much syllabus do they actually know, whether they are able to answer questions and all that. And when a parent does that, that really defeats the purpose. And second of all, right, this is something I would like to share as a parent to another parent. Like if you have a baby like mine, like he's an infant, he's 10 months old, it's okay for me to always supervise him because he does all sort of things and he loves it. He really likes the attention for me to sit there for like looking at him and doing funny faces and all that.
Mm.
But your teenager doesn't. Okay, your
Mm.
teenager.
They definitely want their space. Huh?
Correct. They definitely want their space. And though this is heartbreaking for you to know, they do behave differently when you are not around. So it is best that you allow them their space and let them learn on their own. Because the moment you send them to UK or to the university, you're not going to be sitting outside the lecture hall and waiting for them, right? Learn at their own capacity. And if you really need to supervise, all our classes are recorded anyways. So, you can always watch back.
Mm.
Hmm.
Okay, that's good. So the next question, how are classes conducted at Pasxcel? What is the program like? Basically, I think they're asking about a homeschooling program.
Okay,
Maybe you
okay.
can explain. Mm.
Right, sure. Okay, so how classes are conducted before we even accept any students, before we even enroll any student, we always make them go through a signature discovery session where the teacher will assess you based on all the assessment objectives that Cambridge has set. And like what I mentioned
Mm.
before, their ability to think on their feet, how fast can they grab the information and process and all these things, and also their exam technique, style, exam answering style, their in-depth knowledge of the syllabus, and all this is tested. So after all this is tested, and then we move on to the enrollment process where you enroll yourself in the fast track program where the classes are conducted in this manner. So there are a few components to how the program works. In the beginning, before you even attend the class, we require the students to watch the materials that the teachers have prepared. So let's say you are coming
Mm-hmm.
today to learn about law of demand and supply. So the teachers would have already made a video or given you a video on law of demand and supply and corresponding questions to answer after watching the video. And you must all submit it before the class itself. So by the time you come into the class, the teacher already has an idea. Okay, he has no clue. So the teacher already knows where you're coming in from. And the teacher also knows, like, if we have 5 students in the class, we know that in these 5 students, who is at which level. So the teacher already knows that. And when they come into the class, what happens is the teacher then acts as a devil's advocate. Like she keeps pushing things around. She or she will keep pushing things around. Like, okay, why do you think this is this way? What makes you think that way? How can this not be another? How can this be applied in the question, or how can this be applied in real life? So in class, it will be heavy discussion, integrating knowledge into practice, because knowledge alone does not guarantee the success in exams. So integration of knowledge will happen during class time. Teacher will practice with them a few questions to get to see what really has happened after the discussions. And post class, there'll always be assessment. So all this, because we are using technology, the teacher is able to track who's at which level. The moment they complete the test, they're able to track it, see, okay, this student has done it this way, this student has done it this way. And then after which, the teacher is able to customize the exercises that they give to each student. So in this way, like I was sharing with Miss Pauline yesterday, the system is not a blanket rate. It's not like, oh, I treat child A, B, C, D, E, F all the same, like what all schools do. So we believe that every child is an individual, so we treat them that way as well.
Definitely. I think that is very important. That a lot of school is not adopting, this system. So if they know some of them are weak in this, but some of them are strong in this, but they will just still treat everyone. Okay, I think you guys all know. They will treat it as if everyone understands.
Because the teacher wants to get their job done. You see, the thing is, in school, the teacher believes their job is to finish the syllabus instead of ensuring that the student actually understood what is in the syllabus, or actually falling in love with the syllabus and the subject. The focus has always been to, like, okay, let me finish my job. I've finished the syllabus and I'm done. Before like I started teaching a particular class, I asked them, okay, so why do we learn this? And then the student went like, oh, the previous teacher said that this is in the syllabus, it's coming on the exam, just study lah. So
Right.
teachers do. You can't blame them either lah. Everybody is like a industry norm now.
True. Do you think actually this happens is because maybe the class is too big, that they can't like specifically customize? Because if like for our case, it's a small group, so we can really focus. But like in those bigger schools, they don't have that capacity to like really focus, individually.
Yeah. So I think to explain this, right, it makes sense if, let's say, a government school teacher, or God bless them, if they say that, I completely understand, because it's 40 students to a class, 36 students to a class, and it's impossible. It's really impossible to cater to children of different needs. Yeah. But when it comes to private schools, especially those alternative learning centers that call themselves homeschools and they're operating from shop lots and whatever not,
Yes.
they generally have at best 15 to 20. So that's usually their selling point. And I can tell you, 15 to 20 is very easy to manage. You can easily segregate them into groups. And this is what I used to do when I used to handle 15 to 20. I just segregate them in groups. So when I segregate them in groups, that does not mean I put all the smart kids together, all the poor kids together. No. What I do is I pick all the smart kids to be the leaders, and then the second level grades to be their assistants, and the poor kids to be part of the group. And then you can sort of use the smart kids to teach the poor kids. As a teacher, you're supposed to observe, because students learn better when they actually teach, because you're teaching, then it's reinforcing in your mind. And what I usually get the poor kids to do, the one who are scoring a bit low, is to repeat. Okay, did you understand? What did you exactly understand? Can you teach? It also builds up their confidence. And this removes the teacher as the source of power and knowledge, like what all teachers like to do. So what happens is, which is what I try to make sure that every teacher at Pasxcel do. Once the teacher is removed as a source of power and knowledge, right, then you are dependent on yourself. Okay, I have to find this on my own. Like, I actually can do it, or my friend can teach me. So all this can happen in a classroom, but most teachers don't do this because this takes a lot of work. It's easier to the whiteboard and just like, oh, this is it, guys, get done, class finished.
1 hour, bye-bye. See you next week.
This is your homework, make sure you deliver. Never deliver, why never do homework, this, that, This happens.
True.
Lack of empathy towards what the student is going through. That's also a big issue.
Okay, another one is asking, so how can my child have social activities if they attend online homeschool? So I think a lot of parents are concerned about this issue. Yes.
Okay, so before we go into this question right now, online homeschool, I think we need to address, it's not for everyone. Okay, it's not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's for a select few. You really need to be sure why you're sending your child to online homeschool. So an online homeschool like Pasxcel works best for parents who are moving around or who are moving countries, and then they want the school to always be the constant in their child's life, and then this is great, right? And okay, you have a child that would not be catered otherwise in a traditional school, like children with learning disabilities or children who are a bit slower, or best children who are very smart, who are being held back by their peers. When they come to online
Mm-hmm.
homeschool, they just like, they just zoom through. But let's say social skills is your only reason for choosing not to come to homeschool. I would really ask you to examine your premises. Why is it so? Because if you say so that, oh, by going to online homeschool, my child's social skills will be stunted, then I ask you to re-examine your own life. Did everyone who went to school with you, did they all do socially great? Were they all like rock stars, public speakers, debaters? They are not, right? Like there were also wallflowers in a normal traditional school. So whether you go to an online homeschool or not, that's not really going to
Mm-hmm.
affect social skills. And I think I always point this out to parents, because let's say you have a child who's very entrepreneurial, let's just assume, yeah, and they're thinking about approaching a mentor outside, or let's say they come to a level where they need funding and they're looking for Silicon
Mm-hmm.
Valley funding or whatever it is. They need to know how to approach this person online, right? They need to know how to find this person online. They need to know how to pitch this person online. They need to know how to write an email and engage with people. So all these are also social skills which children can develop while they go for an online homeschool. And if your concern is interaction, now MCO is a perfect period. We've all been cooped up at home. So looks like interactions are still going on. Me and Nat are still talking to each other, even coming live. That's still happening.
Yes.
And most importantly of all, at Pasxcel, at least at Pasxcel, I don't know about the other online home schools, we do have an active forum going on where students from all around the world come together, because a certain amount of our students are still international, so they still come together with the Malaysian students. Everybody discusses, gives different points of view based on religion, gender, everything is different. So they discuss nationality wise, they're different, so they discuss. And then book clubs, we can see how certain books really doesn't jive well with certain nationalities. Their opinions are completely different, and it's fun to watch all
Mm.
those things. So these are also social skills. So if like I said, if your only concern is that your child will not have social skills, I think that is not true. They will have all the social skills.
Mm.
Yeah.
But I think they are concerned more on like physical activities, because in like
Uh,
you're in a private school or international school, they have physical activities. They come together. They have band, they have sports, dance class. So I
swimming
think
class.
their concern, yeah, their concern is that.
Correct. Okay, so this is also I've addressed to parents before. If this is your
Mm-hmm.
concern, and then definitely online homeschooling will not be a good option. Whenever we take whenever we enroll students in, right, we tell their parents we can be in charge of their academics, we can be in charge of their intellectual development, because through discussion, debates, and whatever not, and we can be in charge for their social skills, because they need to lead, they need to discuss with people, and there's a lot of things that they need to do when they're in past excel. So all this we can be in charge of, but physical activities, unlike other schools, I've seen some schools on Instagram, on Facebook, they say they do online PE. That's just
Online PE.
online PE is just your home workout, guys. It's just you switching on YouTube or doing it like it's not gonna work if 30 people come on Zoom together and start doing jumping jacks. It's the same feel. So most of the kids who join us, their parents have already figured out the physical part. Like they have swimming classes, they go for
Mm,
lancing, so they have some stuff there. So that's taken care of
mm.
by the parents. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, so the next question, well, it's a bit personal, I think. So she said, my son is a victim of school bullying, so we want to take him out of his current school. Will online homeschool be a good solution?
Yeah, it'll be a great solution. Okay, it'll be a great solution, and I think I have to address a few things here. Yeah. So, first thing is it's a bullying case. I don't know if this is cyber bully or a physical bullying case. We have had 3 students in the past who join us because I know this quite well. I know this issue quite well because we've already had 3 students who enrolled because of bullying at school, and one of them was cyberbullying. It was quite bad. So the thing that I like to address is not whether you should join Pasxcel or whether you should join an online homeschool or you should even homeschool your child just at home. It's the fact that a lot of parents feel extremely guilty when they pull their children out of the school. They feel like
Mm.
they are allowing the child to be weak, and they are allowing the child not to fight back. They feel very tormented that they are allowing the children sort of the leeway. A lot of parents, right, even though they don't share it with their children, they feel like, oh, when we were kids, just used to fight. We just used to go against the bullies. Like, kids these days are different,
Mm.
etc., etc. I've heard this too many times. So what I like to tell parents, right, you cannot equate an adult with a child. Like, after I became a parent, I think it got really clear to me. Like, I can't expect my 10-month-old to have emotional stability. He is laughing one moment and then bawling the next. It's just how it is. And teenagers
Yes.
as well, they are a completely different species. I know a lot of parents
Mm.
forgot how it felt like being a teenager. But fortunately for me, because I deal with teenagers every day, I know how it feels like. It's a very insecure, unsure place. And just like with my child, like in the beginning, I used to make him like I see that he already is interested in walking, and I try to make him walk, right? So there was this auntie of mine who said, you can't do that because he's not ready for walking, and if you do that, he'll get this apparently bent leg. His leg will become bent. So this is exactly what's going to happen to your child. If you force them to go into an environment that they're not yet ready for, everybody grows at a different rate, right? So if you force your child to go into a situation where they're not ready for, it's going to be disastrous for them because they're not ready for this yet. If you allow
Mm.
them some time to heal, some time to grow, some time to understand themselves, and some time to develop their confidence to face this sort of a people, then definitely
Mm.
they would be able to do that one day with great strength. Because you've allowed, just like we need to allow children to be able to stand on their own before we make them walk. The same thing, before we give them the emotional stability and security so that they can go out there and do what is necessary in the world. And the next thing that I would like to share is that imagine you every day getting slaughtered. How will you grow in such a situation? If every day you're getting picked on, every day you have to
Yeah,
resist.
definitely not.
Correct.
Mm.
All your time just goes in resisting, instead of growing. So yeah, it definitely will be a great option for them to explore. Definitely.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I hope that answered, your question if you're watching right now. The next question,
Mhm.
they're asking, what are your teachers like? I think they're trying to find out how are past Excel teachers.
Okay.
I'm worried if they will just be the same as my child's current uh
Teachers, is it?
teachers, yeah, in school.
Okay, so this is a very valid worry. So I think like even my students shared this, right? A lot of teachers apparently they just come out, they switch on a PowerPoint, and I'm like, wow, things hasn't changed since like I left uni, and now they're just doing it in high school. Yeah, it's very common. It's normal for you to feel this way, which is why we highly recommend that you do the discovery session. It's a nominal charge. You do the discovery session. You see for yourself. If you find that the teachers are just the same, and then yeah, by all means, do not continue beyond the discovery session. No questions asked. We never pursue. We never like keep on calling you or whatever, because our idea of doing the discovery session is to assist you, find your path, and see if this is a good fit for you. And beyond that, if you're not interested, then we
Mm.
you can decide. But that would be a great start to see if the teachers are just like the other teachers. But I can tell you they're not. it takes a long time to find Pasxcel teachers because they are completely a different breed. That I can assure you of.
Okay.
Mm.
So come to our next question.
Uh-huh.
Why aren't your discovery sessions free?
Wow.
I think a lot of parents are asking that.
Okay, I've got these questions myself. Before you came in, itself, a lot of people have asked me this. There was one parent, I think, who told Wahab that, hey, I'm actually really interested in your program, but I don't want to pay for your discovery session. So a little backstory, before we did this, we actually used to give this for free. Like the discovery session was entirely free. And what happened was people will book a class and they would just not show up. And some of them would, because this discovery session, again, it's not a group class. Yeah. Like I understand that a lot of homeschools or a lot of schools give you 3 days trial classes, a week trial classes and all that. But that's because you're just sitting one in many, you're just sitting one person in a many person classroom. Whereas discovery session is actually catered, designed for you to assist you to see where you stand and to give you valuable feedback. It takes the teacher's time. It takes our technology backend support from our end, as well as preparing the feedback session after that and all that. It actually takes a long time to do what we need to do, preparation and all that included. Because if Nat also can share with you that every parent that we decide to onboard, even for discovery session, we usually have a long conversation about why exactly do you want to do this? Is this going to be a good fit for you? We advise them quite a bit. Then we bring them on for the discovery session. So we spend a lot of time, and time is very valuable. So definitely we do not make money out of the discovery session. It's just a nominal cost, mainly just to make sure that parents are committed and they do turn up for the class on time. That's the main reason. Yeah.
And I think a lot of parents, they don't understand the value that they actually are getting, from the discovery session. They think it's just some assessment class,
Right. Yeah.
what's the big deal? But they really don't understand. Like I don't think a lot of schools actually have this type of discovery sessions. Do they provide?
No, they don't. A lot of them do have an assessment, which they give you an exam paper, then you do. So this one I like to share one of my personal experience. Previously, this one was, like I said, because we were talking about the bully case just now. So this girl was actually a cyber bully, just to share with you her story. So we did the discovery session for her. Another teacher did the English. So I was just an observing teacher. And then I noticed, because her mom was very sure that she could do English as a first language. A lot of Malaysians have this issue. Like, they think like, okay, when they speak well, they can do English as first language. So after the class, I actually presented to the mom, right? I gave the feedback. I told her how her English situation is. It's not great. It's actually she would be subpar at second language, definitely can't do first. Then after that, I told her mom that, she's actually quite a risk averse person. She doesn't want to take challenges. She's quite reserved and all that. And the mom was really impressed. She was like, wow, I'm impressed that within 1.5 hours, you can tell me so much things about my daughter, so many things about my daughter. So I said, no, because this is what we do every day. We in and out, we are observing students, we are assessing them, we are doing discovery sessions for them. And the mom said, yeah, absolutely right. She is this kind of a person. And we can observe that because it's very obvious. Like, for example, when she did the second language paper, right? So we thought, okay, I mentioned the name. Why don't we just try one question from first language? And she was very, very resistant. She didn't want to even try it. So these are the things that we discover in the discovery session. Their character traits as well. It's not just study syllabus and
Yeah,
all.
it's not just like, academically wise.
Correct. Correct. So it's a
All
wholesome
right.
experience.
Definitely. So, we really, really, really encourage, parents to really try out our discovery sessions because it
Yeah.
has been very helpful.
Yeah, and then we always tell parents this, right? I don't know, like, I always make it very clear to them, you are not bounded by anything. It's not like when you go to an international school, oh, pay 5,000 ringgit, registration fee is not refundable even if you don't get a place. It's nothing like that. So you just pay, and if you don't like beyond the 1 hour, 1.5 hour, you don't have to continue. So it's very, very risk-free, I would say.
Okay, that's good. So the next one, oh, okay, so we get this all the time. What are the fees of our homeschooling program in
Okay,
Pasxcel?
right.
Yes.
Okay, so the fees of the homeschooling program. Now, we have a standard program, right? So the fast track program is not a customized program. Previously, we used to do a customized to each student program. So the fast track program is because we realized that actually most students can just go through the fast track program. It's a year, it's more than enough to cover year 10 and 11 together.
Mm,
So what happens is we like to give you a quite a standard comparison. If let's say you are going to ISKL, like International School of Kuala Lumpur, I think it's going to cost you anywhere north of 200K for 2 years of education. If I'm not mistaken, it's actually 280 plus K for 2 years of education.
mm, mm, mm,
And if you feel like, oh, I don't want to go for a tier one international school, and then I would like to go for somewhere mid-range international school, then you would be choosing something like Taylor's, right? In terms of Taylor's cost 45,000 a year. So for the 2 years you're there, just tuition fees alone is going to cost you 90K, and then including other fees, technology fees, security deposit, registration, etc., 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 it'll come to up to 100 plus K. So the only the cheaper option that you would have would be something like going to those so-called home schools, that operates from a shop lot. So those schools will cost you about 20 plus K a year, and for 2 years program, it will cost you about 42, 43. Now, with Pasxcel, it's going to cost you 48K. So it is definitely slightly more expensive than going to the learning centers. But the difference is you get a wholesome education. You actually have full faith that this is going to work, because a lot of parents have tried it, and the results are amazing. Like, we know that children's grades improve. Not to give you
mm,
false promises, most of our students who do the fast track program end up with A and above, so which means it's either A or A star. So that is that because of the way we teach, the way we connect with the students, the way we build the community, that's that. And of course, it comes with the whole international environment in terms of discussion with international
mm.
students, and all this host of benefits. So it's going to be 48,000 per year, which is being paid like in three term. So it's going to be 16 per term.
16 per term.
Mm.
Okay, so I hope that answered some of the concern that parents, are wondering, how much are our fees. So okay, the next one. I thought online homeschooling would be much cheaper than international slash private school. Why is your price not cheap? Hmm.
Interesting. Yeah, I've been asked time once before. They're like, oh, it's just online, right? Like, it should be cheaper. So right, to explain to you how this works, when it's an international school, what you are paying for
Mm.
is you're paying for the name, right? And I
The
kid you,
brand name.
the brand name. The second thing is you pay for a white teacher. The teacher is way white. So here the teacher is not white, so as you can see. So once you take out the expats, and once you take out the cost of the expats, you take out the cost of the facilities and all that's what you pay for in an international school, right? On the other hand, what you
Mm.
pay for at Pasxcel is the fact that you have qualified teachers who can make your child engaged in the subject, like completely fall in love with the subject. Like, we have parents, like Miss Nazrin is a big supporter. I see her always commenting on the live sessions. Like, her
Is
son,
she
like,
here?
I don't know if she's here. Like 2 months
Hi,
ago,
Miss Nazrin.
yeah, like 2 months ago, like, her son used to hate. She told me this, and like, it seems he even came and said, "Why didn't you find Pasxcel sooner?" So this is what you get. Like, even Miss Pauline yesterday, she was sharing, right? The children are actually like asking her, when can I go to school now? So you can see that's what you're paying for students to fall in love with the process of learning. But of course, if what you prefer is the brand name, I suppose the
Mm.
network, and having the ability to tell to your friends that you have white men, white women teaching your children, then definitely an international school will be where you should be, because they do have their benefits. It's not that. But the reason why our fees are not cheaper is because we need to employ qualified candidates and also maintain the system. And this is what we give in return, which I think,
Mm.
to me personally, the fact that we are able to make students love learning and also learn how to learn, and have this concept of I'm going to be a lifelong learner, that is way more, it's priceless. I would say it's priceless. That's priceless.
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
Yes, because syllabus wise, everywhere is same. But how do you really make them understand it inside out and
Correct.
what do you call that? Like really know how to think on their own. I feel like those skills is not easy, to teach.
Yeah,
Mm.
because you would see, like I don't know if Zongwei is watching this. Zongwei is another one of my economics students. Again, when the mom brought him here, the mom said, I don't know, he really hates this subject. If he passes, I'm okay already because he's a science student. And then the first class, this was his face. He was just like, just get me out of here kind of thing. And like after 3 months, right, like he used to debate with me, every time I just like give the answer wrongly. And then, teacher, are you sure this is not the way it is? I know this is this other way. Because they can think from every single angle now. And then the fact that we
Mm.
ask them to read Bloomberg and CNN and see, compare policies, what the policies that the government is coming up with, how does it relate to the syllabus? It becomes very engaging to them. So yeah, these are the things that we do that I think makes the student really fall in love with the subject and with studying. Yeah.
Mm. So I think that answers, why our price tag.
Yeah, correct.
So, okay, another question by another parent. She asked, should my child really do the fast track program? I just want them to spend more time in school studying like everyone else.
Okay. 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 So I like to highlight the last part, like everyone else. Really? So if it's like everyone else, then you should just leave them in government school, right? Why even move them to a private school? There's no reason. Like if your idea is that your child should be I would say normal, it would be just like everyone else. And then government school is the best option. There's about 500,000 of them taking SPM every year. So there's nothing special about it. But if you do wish to give your child a competitive advantage, then might as well choose this because,
Hmm.
okay, let's face it, you are going to pay some, well, even the cheapest option is going to be somewhere around Pasxcel's range, right? Let's get that right off the bat. It's going to be right. It's going to be costing about the same. It's just that in there, you're going to be spending about 2 years, where else here in a year you're going to get done. So 1 year of your life saved. I don't know what is your view of your time, but I can tell you 1 year is extremely valuable if used right. So that itself is giving your child a huge competitive advantage compared to others. So if you are in the position to spend money and if you are in the position to give
Mm-hmm.
them competitive advantage, then why not give them that competitive advantage by putting them in a fast track program? Yeah, that would be my first point. And the second point would be that it's doable, it's easy. If that was your concern, yeah, please don't fret that it's completely doable. Your child will not feel stressed out. That I can guarantee personally.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So the next question is, how will my child sit for the IGC exams through Pasxcel online homeschool?
Okay, so we have students from Kuwait, we have students from Saudi Arabia, we have students from Cyberjaya, we have students from Subang, so we have students from everywhere. Generally, this is my recommendation to all parents. If you go on the Cambridge website, if you don't want to go, we can go for you. We will let you know what is the nearest exam center to your house. You just have to contact the exam center and do the registration. So most of our students generally do it at Cempaka. If they are Malaysian, they do it at Cempaka, do it Mas. This is where they sign up and then they do it there. And it's quite straightforward because every private candidate does that. So you would be going in as a private candidate. Yeah. So that's how
All
it's done.
right. Okay, I think that's okay.
Mhm.
Can. Okay, the next question is, what is the difference between core and extended subjects? How can I know which would be suitable for my child? Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this requires a bit of customization. We really need to know what your child wants. Okay. So some parents, right, when they come to us, they tell us that because remember previously we used to do a customized to each child. So they come to us and they say that, okay, my child is already very, very clear. and they would show us, right, that like I remember this girl, her anime is like out of the world. It's like one of those really in TV. She really draws super well. She can design as
Mm.
well, and she already knows this is what she wants to do. She's very very clear.
Mm.
Unfortunately, in terms of studies, she's not doing very well, and her parents want her to go into a art school. So they are clear, she is clear. So in terms of IGCSE, then she does not have to do an extended version, because just doing core, she would get, because core only enables you to get C, a maximum of a C.
Maximum.
Maximum of a C. You can't get beyond that. So the moment you get all C's, she's good enough. For her course, I remember they only requested 3 credits. So if she gets 3 C's, she's into the university. And beyond that, it's just what she does in the university. So there are of course children like that, and then we have children who come to us. These are the majority. They want to go to Imperial, they want to go to Eton, they're looking at LSE. Some of them are looking to, quite a number of them are looking to go to the UK to do medical or dental, right? So those universities actually want to make sure that you have like all A's or at least A's and B's in your IGCSE. So those kids have to take extended. They have no other choice. They have to take extended. So it really depends on what your child wants to do, and what you intend for them in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why again it is important, that they go through the discovery session, because yeah, sometimes even the parents, they're not sure, what the kids want to do. So with the discovery session, we can uncover what the kids actually really want to do in life. Mm.
um, a lot of talking goes around in the discovery session as well. Like we talk quite a bit with the child to find out what they really are interested in and all that. And that's another thing that I wanted to point out. A lot of parents say that, yeah, no need lah. I already know where my child is. It's okay. You just straight away teach the first class. And I'm like, it's not possible. Like we really need to know where the child is. So or else, it's going to be very difficult for us to group them together, or certain things might not really jive well with them, their learning methodology and all that. So yeah, so that's the reason. Discovery session is extremely important.
Mm. Okay, so our last and final question of the night. What sort of guarantee
Mm-hmm.
will Pasxcel provide for my child? So what is our promise lah for them?
So okay, so I can promise a lot of things, but I think the proof of the pudding, they say, is in the eating. So you can definitely talk to a lot of our parents. If you want to talk to them, we can put you in touch with them. There's definitely great improvement, right? I know that all of them who have taken the fast track program at least get all A's. They across the board, they are able to score A's. That's not a problem. Great improvement is there. But most importantly, what I personally love is that they change as a person. The intrinsic value changes. They really want to study for the sake of studying itself. They enjoy the art of acquiring knowledge. They really do love that. And I think that's something that's beautiful. Like eventually you can see a child who's completely not interested in learning becoming super interested in learning and continuing to develop themselves. That you definitely would see. And you definitely will see them becoming more engrossed in their subjects. Like a few of the parents say, oh, now previously he used to hate this subject, now he's watching documentaries on it. You definitely would see all those sort of things. Yeah, these are the few things you can see in them. Definitely more confidence. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that sums up, today's topic, and we hope we sort of address a lot of question marks in the parents.
Hopefully.
Yeah, mm, so to all the parents, everyone that's watching, uh, let's have a look at the comments. I think there are some questions.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Oh, someone said, someone asked us, um, do we provide online classes? Yes, we do provide online homeschooling programs. So if you would like to know more, you can always drop us a DM, on our Facebook page, and we will have a education consultant that will address to your issue.
Yeah, most definitely. We definitely do provide online classes, so you can try that out. Any other questions that we have?
Uh,
Oh,
okay.
she's looking for a good homeschooling program. Yeah, she can definitely speak to us, do the discovery session, and see how it goes. So that's how it's done. Yeah. But yeah, if you are like, another thing that we definitely would tell parents is like, if you are looking for a cheaper alternative and that's why you are looking at Pasxcel, I think Pasxcel will not be a great fit. Like, let's just put that out there right up front so that you know what you're dealing with. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's we've come to the end of the our live episode.
Great. So another live done.
Yes.
Thank you for
So
tuning in.
yeah, true. If you have any questions, feel free to just leave a comment. Because this live session, you can replay it later. So I'm sure, many other people will tune in later, not now. So any questions, drop us a DM, leave
Yeah,
comments down below.
leave a comment though.
Yeah.
The comment would be great because if you DM us, other people would not be able to see. And if we have enough comments, maybe we'll do another live session. Yeah, just answering all those questions
Yes,
that we got in the
yes.
second round. Yeah, so that everybody's
Yes,
aware of
yes.
what they need to do.
Mm.
And like, another thing that I think we always tell parents is, it's fine that if you don't sign up for the program at Pasxcel, our main intention is that you're completely educated at what you're getting yourself into, especially if you're Malaysian, because the other option is the national school system. And the national school system, everybody know how it works. A lot of parents, when they make the switch to IGCSE, they actually have no idea how it works, and they just blindly trust the school and the school management and whatever not. So yeah, just use this platform to get yourself educated, to you get yourself aware of what's happening and what you need to know, so that you can make really good decisions for your children. That would be our advice.
Yes. Thank you very much, Teacher Yuven. I think we'll see everyone in our next live. We will share more details in our Facebook page next week. So always check it out.
All right. Okay. Thanks,
Oh
guys, for
yeah.
tuning in. See you again the next time.
Bye bye.
Bye.